please share everyone. I am here only for a few minutes. I just want to have let people have a last word, and that will be it. Thank you. Please share. Okay, share the video, guys. Share the video. Yes, guys, I have put the link. Thank you. It's easy if you can click the link. Would be hard for me to actually send the link to everyone. It's going to slow me down because I will have so many windows open. Philemon, I see you, brother. Abiel, there is the link, please. There is two ways you can click the link. I have when I post the link or whatever comment I have here, because I have uh, uh, two two places where I am broadcasting. I am broadcasting live here on YouTube, and also is being broadcast also on YouTube. So you can click either links, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook. In that way, you don't have to have, even you can join with your email. There is no limit of how you can join the show. Thank you. Okay, absolutely. I will pin the link then. Okay. Okay, let me see. Philemon, I see you, brother. Hang on there. Okay, just hold on a second. I will pin it. Something strange is happening. Hold on one second. Why am I not pinning the link? Let's see. Like I said, this thing was slow. Okay. This thing is. Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can pin the link. Okay, guys, I have pinned the link on the comment section, so it should be there without moving. Okay. Hello, welcome back.
Okay, thank you.
Should be there without moving. Come on, welcome back. If you are a new face, make sure you log in really quick. Otherwise, you won't be able to get onto the show. Like I said, I have a limit of 10 people on lobby, and the lobby is getting full. Okay. All right. It looked like you guys were the last one, last person. Real quick. Like I said, I have a limit of 10 people on lobby. And the lobby is getting full. It looked like you guys were the last one, last person.
The background is
repeating it.
I believe someone else is watching the show, but that's okay for this moment.
There's two windows speaking.
Okay, I figured out. The noises come from you, filaments. I hope you fixed that. Okay. I unmute everyone except Pilman. Pilman is the one still having noise. Who has just come in. Comment, brother Pagur.
What's up, niggas?
Put on your clothes, man. Put on your clothes.
Hey, the free country. I'm sleeping 1 o'clock in the morning. You see, I don't like support. If the nigga show up, people say, "Oh, never mind, forget it. I'm not even going there with y'all."
Okay, Pilman, have you fixed your noise? Let me see.
I'm sleeping 1 o'clock in the morning. You see, I don't like support. If the nigga show up.
Okay. Anyway, I will not wait more. Like I said, I was going to be here only for 15 minutes. Now I'm going to share time at least 3 minutes each for the last word. Chinquas is here. So come on, your last word, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peter, and all the other
panel and the viewers as well. My last word, we are talking here live, brothers and sisters. We are talking live. And when we are talking live, sometimes we have to give in our political alliance. I know we have different parties back in South Sudan. And here our show is pretty much about the mass defection in the SPLM-IO. What I would say as the last word, anyone that is in the SPLM-IO is my brother, is my countryman. Even though they have different political agenda, like us members of the SPLM on this side, we're still brothers, end of the day, and we are doing the common goods of bringing South Sudan up and building it and making peace like we are. We are talking peace here. But as a SPLM member, me myself, I want to say this word straight to my brothers on the other side of the SPLM-IO. This has become a large issue, not a political issue. The mass defection, the defection that is happening in the SPLM-IO, and if I may say this respectively, let me say it, all the brothers that now defected from the SPLM-IO are welcome, highly welcome in the SPLM, because they are brothers, the countrymen. They cannot be rejected, as some of you on the other side saying they should not be. They have to be. Why? These people are liberators. They fought for the country. They are intellectual. They're sons and daughters. So what I'm trying to say here, I am not saying all these people who have defected and more coming, as other brothers put it before, we are not going to reject them, or the leadership of the SPLM. I am a member anyway, don't take me wrong, someone there, I'm not a representative, I'm a member. Anyone that is going to be defecting from whatever party will be accepted. Simple reason, they are South Sudanese. Simple, no argument. So here, if I may say this to SPLM-IO members, please, these are your brothers, and especially your tribe brothers, and you have to respect the decision. You have to not deny them, like Chankwa did. I'm very, very, very disappointed by denying this intellectual, highly intellectual, and people who have contributed to the SPLM-IO movement, and even in the SPLM and South Sudan in general. I am lastly disappointed, and if I hear that again, I'll be very disappointed for whoever is going to deny these people. I have to respect their right. They defected, yes. The brothers, yes. The countrymen, yes. And they come from the party, SPLM-IO. So, if I have to say a word to serve the innocent of South Sudanese people, yes, there is no SPLM-IO anymore. They are part of the unity government. Have you ever heard me say SPLM-IG? I am not SPLM-IG anymore. There's no SPLM-IG. We are SPLM. And we are party with other people, other parties, including SPLM-IO.
I think you don't follow the peace agreement.
No. Let me say. You will paraphrase me. You will paraphrase me, Chankwas. There is only SPLM as we speak, with the unity government. I may speak of the SPLM-IO, but there is only SPLM, led by President Salva Kiir Mayardit. Yes, we have a partner, which is SPLM-IO. So what I'm trying to say here, let's save the life of innocent, especially brothers in the SPLM-IO. Let's save the life of innocent people. You have to respect your brothers, especially from Nuer Brotherhood. You have to respect these brothers. They're from your tribe. They're from your party. They're from your country. That's the conclusion I may say. Don't deny them. Respect them and listen to what made them defected. I am sure, and I'm telling you, and I'm waiting for Chankwas or any SPLM members, including Philemon, to answer this question. These people simply, they defected because the government or the movement of the SPLM-IO has been pocketed by Riek Machar. Simple and period, and explain that later to me. And this has been my point. The mass defection and the following defection coming, they are doing this because Riek Machar has made the SPLM-IO his property, his family business. And let me say, 5 members of the 9 ministries are Riek Machar blood family. None of you, Philemon, none of you, Chankwas. Thank you, brother Peter. Thank you, all the brothers. I'll stop here.
Those are just lies. It's lies. But
okay.
we'll respond. Don't worry.
I can even count their name, Chankwas. I can say their name to connect to Riek Machar, including his in-laws. Anyway, you explain to me later the 9 ministers. Where do they come from?
I don't speak. I don't speak.
Thank you.
I don't speak on the assumption.
Thank you, Kaman. I will let you go from here.
Thank you, brother. I will listen.
And you can listen to the response from
Peter, can you give me a chance?
Go ahead, Bill. You next for sure.
Yeah, Bill was there before, so he should.
Gentlemen, first of all, I would like to greet all of you, especially the guest speaker, Mr. Chankwas, for you guys been here for so long, but I think it is the love of the country that brought most of us here for this discussion. I'm going to go to the topic straight, the mass defection from the SPLM-IO. The fact that it cannot be denied that people are defecting from the SPLM-IO, and also we have people that defected from the SPLM in government that was led by President Kiir to the SPLM-IO. So it became a norm in our political arena in South Sudan where people keep switching sides. But at this moment, when South Sudan is yearning for peace and urging all the partners that this peace should be implemented so that the life of innocent people could go back to normal, I think they have one in common, because those who have defected from the SPLM-IO to the SPLM in government, they have put down the grievances why they are leaving the SPLM-IO into the SPLM-IG. And one of the things that they have said, it is that there was a lack of consultation. I'm not going to talk because I don't know what is happening within the SPLM-IO. But the fact that the political heavyweight within the SPLM, including the military that have defected a few weeks ago, it is something that SPLM actually should sit down and search the soul, what is happening within the party. But that would be left to the party members to decide. But we, the South Sudanese, we are concerned. We are concerned about what is happening within South Sudan, not only within the SPLM-IO, because the SPLM-IO and the SPLM-IG, which is the mainstream, and the other political parties, they are in peace agreement. The peace agreement has to be implemented. And if there is a need for people to defect, I don't think this was the right time for them to defect. That is my opinion anyway. Because as we speak, we do not know that the SPLM-IO is actually going to be a political party within that name, or whether that Dr. Machar will decide to rejoin the SPLM, which is based on the Arusha agreement. We don't know yet. But because they are in the government, they are in unity government, that where people need a peace to be implemented. And if there's a grievances, it is something that should have been addressed within the party. I am the member of the SPLM mainstream, and I have been cautioned enough for people defecting back to the SPLM, even though they are members of the whole SPLM. what I've seen from those who are defecting is the same mass defection that was happening during the peace agreement, when people are coming from the National Congress Party back to the SPLM, and they were being welcomed without proper vetting. And as a member of the SPLM, I have a concern. I have a concern that it is not the right time for people to defect back to SPLM IG, because we are all in one government. Until that time, when the parties are adjusted, when people are going for election, I think this is where people will not make the thing known that we are not longer satisfied with how Dr. Machar is running the SPLM IO. And I think that is some of the point they have put down, that there's lack of consultation. The SPLM has lost the direction, there's no vision. I'm talking about the SPLM IO. And I think the same thing has been said to those who are actually defecting back to the SPLM in opposition as well. We have seen those of Tilar and those of Koch, I think not Koch, what is his name? The former minister.
That's good. That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, he defected, and they say the same thing that have been said, that people have lost, trust with the leadership of the president himself, which is leading the other SPLM. But as a concerned citizen, and the people that are actually yearning for peace in our country, this has to come to an stop. If you look into those who have actually defected, if they find themselves at the majority that are defecting, could they not have a power? Because most of them, I believe, they are the member of Liberation Council with our political bureau within the SPLM in opposition. They could even sit down and call a meeting where they could even vote out the chairman himself, because I think they have a power. If they think that they are majority, that they have the voice to be heard. So, to my conclusion, I don't support the defection to the SPLM, because there is a concern why people are defecting at this time. But one thing I like about the defection is this: those who actually defected, they talk about the peace implementation. They talk that we are not going back to war. And that is the good spirit. We don't want people to defect and go and form another rebellion to put the life of innocent South Sudanese at risk. If people are defecting and actually sort out the grievances through the dialogues, not through the barrel of the gun, I think our country will be in a good shape today. And that is the thing that I can agree with them. Whether you are defecting to the SPLM IO, or whether you are defecting to the SPLM mainstream, which is the SPLM in government, if you say that I'm not taking people back to war, you are welcome. I think that is a good initiative that they are taking. And this is what people of Soma, I heard that, I know that people like Emmanuel Jawin, these people, they're anti-peace, and they want actually this current peace agreement to collapse so that people of South Sudan should go back to war. And this should be discouraged wherever you are. If you love your country, do not urge people, do not wish people to go back to war. With this peace agreement to be implemented the way it is, in letter of spirit, let us have the national army, let us have a peaceful atmosphere where every citizen will have a right to decide whom to elect. If Dr. Machar wants to contest in the next 3 years, it will be up to the people of South Sudan to decide whom they will be electing, but not through the barrel of the gun. So, gentlemen, Brother Chankwat, and those who are here, Philemon, it is good that whether we are all in one government anyway. The people of South Sudan, we want this government to have, but don't deny that it doesn't have effect. The defection of your members, it have the effect in your SLM in opposition. It is something that should be accepted, and that is the truth. SLM, as we speak, is more wicked than before. That is what we know. And we have been following the politics of South Sudan. We have seen that these are heavyweight, whether they came from the military background or they have a few former political heavyweight within our country. If you lose them in your party, that means that you are no longer strong. But Let us have a spirit of implementing this peace agreement. The reform will come. The reform will come whether through this next 3 years or after this government. I think we will be able to reform that country. But there's no hurry in reforming the country. So thank you for coming back. Chankwa, those who have been here, Peter, Lagos State Media, thank you for giving me the opportunity to at least contribute. And also, I thank all the panel that are here and also the viewers that are making this topic more interesting. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Can you guys give me a chance? I'm about to go to sleep, please. I
Yes.
just want to. I'm a comedian. I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, I'm missing this brother who just finished talking here. I think he makes a good point. You know, but the good point is said it's just like Nazi Manuel or whatever those guys on social media who try to be politicians, try to criticize the peace. You guys, I'm going to say I always talk, keep everything naked, and I'm going to keep it naked. Whether there's two tribes that really don't get the point. When it comes to dumbass Denka and dumbass Nuer people, we don't get the point. We're fighting among each other, and those Equatorian people are criticized as they want us to kill each other so they can take over. We need to understand that. So Chankwat brother and Peter brother, yeah, both Denka and Nuer. Why we don't look at it different way? Personally, I'm from Lagos State. I'm mad as hell when it comes to IO or when it comes to SPLA. I'm mad at Young Machar, I'm mad at Salva Kiir. Because all the government went to Alanil and to Greater Barkatal all the way down and skipped Lagos State. That point, I'm mad as hell. But we, Lagos State, we are just people that humble ourselves. So, Chemkwas, if you can answer my question, can you name me one vice president in Lagos State? I don't think so. But we got Taban from your side, we got Young Machar from your side, we got Nyandeng from your side, we got Waniga from your side, and we got others. All this above. The government went to you guys. Why are you still fighting? So the point is, what I'm saying, you Nuer and Denka people, you are missing the point. The only one thing we can do, people who talk on social media, like Lagos State social media, and like Chemkwad, I know you, I follow you, and you have a lot of viewers, and you always take it on a point. There's difference between you and Guy Ball. Guy Ball, sometimes he keep it racist, you know. So, and the Guy Ball, the time they say that Riek Machar signed a peace agreement, Guy Ball was mad because he lost the position, you know. So the point is, what I'm saying, Chemkwad, if we sit together and say, okay, let's just cut Riek Machar off and let's cut Salva off, and let's find somebody that we can, all of you guys here in social media here, one of you guys can be president and can lead our country in a good vision way. Not have 5 vice presidents. So my point is, guys, we need to just, let's do politics, but let's think smart on the other hand. Who are the most people being set up? Denka and Nuer. When you go to Facebook, me personally, when I go to Facebook, I find Equatorian people talking, Denka, 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 Denka. They don't mention Nuer a lot, but the reason they don't mention Nuer a lot because they're hyping the thing up. So Nuer can go on this side and go and kill Denka. But you have to understand, Denka and Nuer, they have a lot of things in common. Denka love to marry a lot of wives. Nuer do the same thing. Denka love cow. Nuer do the same thing. Denka love walwal. Nuer love walwal. Denka love, you know, a cook. And we're all good.
All right, brother Baga.
So you gentlemen, yeah, have a good night. But to be honest with you guys, we're all brothers. But we need to think.
You actually keep it naked. There is no
Yes.
like that. Thank you. All right. Good night.
All
brother.
right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
I'll
be watching.
Okay. Thank you. Philemon, let me unmute you. So you have your last word, and Abraham will also have his last word, and then King Kwas will wrap it up.
Okay. Peter, I would like to thank you for taking a very strong initiative by hosting the show on this platform. It is important for us South Sudanese to educate ourselves and also to understand country is important than the parties that we have now. Parties is a platform, but country is bigger than anything that we've been doing. So I have three main points that I want to make it here. But before that, I would like to thank my comrade Chankut for taking all the questions and try to educate, even to defend the platform of IO in this, massive or offensive, attack on IO and peace. Number one, we should not be concentrating on consuming our time about the people that defected for their own choice. We shouldn't be wasting our time talking about that. We should be talking about how we're going to protect peace, how we work collectively and take the responsibilities as South Sudanese to make sure that we should not go back to war. I think that's supposed to be the initiative and role all South Sudanese, whether intellectual, civil societies, politicians, and ordinary citizens, to take the role to protect peace. Because we had enough. The bloodshed in our country been running. And we want to end this. Whether we lose or we gain, it has nothing to do with us to build a country that represents all of us South Sudanese. Therefore, I don't want people to consume time saying that IO is gonna lose. If IO lose, let's go back to historical facts. Okay, so it would died in 2016, but it never died because it is not only Machar. It is a platform that we want to make South Sudan a better country and reform and transform South Sudan from the elites that has no any plan to do something for the country to the better, and the country that will be, taking the role to educate its own citizens, feed its citizens, and also, build the development that we want for next generation to benefit from our, struggle. And that is the country IO is representing, and that is the country, Dr. Machar is trying to develop. So if we consume that these people are going to weaken IO, then, I think we are missing the big point. Okay. If you are trying to say and do the narratives that IO is gonna or dead, like some people already saying that is rest in peace, I think your ideas are the one is gonna rest in peace because you are not seeing the lessons that we are seeing. You don't understand the way we understand because your ideas have been, perceived by wrong narratives, and that is why you don't see beyond your lenses. You see only in the narratives of your own comfort zone, which is the problem of South Sudanese. So these people, they already gone. We respect their choice that they made. Okay, they was respected within the IO, and they also have a choice to make, and that is the country or democratic process that we want to happen in our country. So we don't have to deny them. So let them go and then see another political, organization, because we know that IG is a dumping site that anybody can go and be accepted because it's a place where, all the leftover are there. So you go there, and you given enough that you eat. But in Iowa, we don't have then that.
Pilman, hold on 1 second. Like I said earlier, right now we don't have a competing idea. Hold on. Right now we don't have a competing ideology where if we have to go to ballot box today, that IO will have and the IG will have at the same time. It is all about what side accommodate who. Come on, man. If you call that a dumping site, let's say you dump all people that are disgruntled, that did not get a position, and we go to election today. That dumping site will win the election.
No, I think election will come based on the platform.
But why is it a dumping side on part of the IG, Philemon, when you are also accepting people defecting to the SLM-IO?
No, I think, when people defect from, IG, we know that IG been ruling this country for almost 14 years with no any platform.
Where
okay?
IO is a part of it.
They just control our country with the ideas that cannot represent the values that we fought at Khartoum. And they behave like, Mu'tamar al-Watan and so that is why, anybody defected from the IG.
We are now all one government. Well, let us just
we are a government. If you know that we are a government, there is no point that you can, wage a massive, attack on IO simply because people defected from IO and joined the government. You shouldn't do that. You should be the person to stand with IO and make sure that we can protect peace. If you don't want us to correct the IG. But that is not the point. I don't want to make argument here. I just want to correct that if the government, agree that, their side will be a dumping point, okay, let it be, So we don't mind because IO is not going to weaken for that. We just making like what the Bible is saying that when the time comes, you can separate, you can separate goat from the sheep or wheat from the wheat, good grains from, and this is the time of, making sure that we have to make a test. Who is qualified to run and be the leader in South Sudan? And that is what is happening now. So that is the point number one I want people to understand. The second point is,
Brother at least 1 more minute. Chinkwa, then I can't see anymore. So I want you to wrap this up. Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm wrapping it up, So the second point I want to make it here, let's protect peace. Because in peace, we can have a platform and good thinking so that we can move this country forward. But if we are trying to make, IO is this, government is this, and IO is going to be, dead tomorrow, then we are not for peace. We're just encouraging people to go back to war, which is something that IO doesn't want to go that way, because this peace is a compromise for the better of South Sudan. It is not a surrender. And that is the most important point I want, particularly people that support the government. Because it seems like the government supporters, they just goes with the waves. And they goes as long somebody criticizes IO, they jump in, which means they don't have any platform that they can stand for. They should be standing with IO to protect the peace. And the last thing I want to make it here is, we are not going anywhere. IO is not going anywhere. It is there to implement the peace agreement. Whoever doesn't want to implement peace agreement, okay, it is up to you. So if you don't want it, then you have to wait for the election. Because what we are doing now, we want to make sure that country must be normalized. Enough from the glass, enough for the gun, sound machine, and then we need to transform country into the conducive political platform so that we can be able to, preach our ideas. And that is what we want to do in South Sudan. But some of you are jumping here and there. It's not going to help us. So now we are in the process that we want to implement. Now, as we speak, the states are not, governors are not still located. So we want to be concerned about that. Secondly, we want to make sure that, when the states have been appointed, governors have been appointed, then we have to make sure that the power has to go to them. And that is the spirit IO want to do. So if you blame Dr. Machar, I think you have a different reason that talking about, but we are in Juba. We are not out in Juba. All the IO is in Juba. If you don't like it, okay, there is a river. You can jump in the river, leave those who want to implement the peace agreement to do. Because South Sudanese, they are demanding peace. As we speak, people are living in the UN camps. They are suffering. So why are you talking about IO is weakened? So IO is not going anywhere. And, I think I will stop here. But, don't preach wrong ideas. No, let me one thing I forget. There is some people, okay, like Soma, I always like to talk a little bit about Soma. Seems like IG supporters, they are going with Soma. Soma survival is based on depend on the failures of peace agreement. And that is what they're doing. We understand that. So they want peace agreement to fail for them to jump in and make their case, because now they have been blocked out. There is no way to solve Sudan. COVID-19 is restricting them, and peace agreement is already going. The only way they can do is to dismantle peace agreement, and IO has to go back to war for them to make way to the peace agreement. But there is no way. Peace is the ultimate option that we can build a country. And may God bless you.
I agree with you in the peace, John.
To address, our problem in South Sudan.
Thank you, Philemon. Abraham, your last word or few comments you would like to make, because I have to go to bed. I've been here for more than 8 hours. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Peter, and thank you, Solomon. Thanks, what? And I'm just putting one word across, and this word is the explanation that was raised by Kenquat, and I fail to understand why people are just making the defection of this guy as a big deal. This is a political decision. It's not defection to go on fight. He may be seen like that. There's something that we have seen is not going on there, and just come on this side. They are all South Sudanese. Whoever made a side, it's not a big deal. Why would people not satisfied with the explanation that Kenquat gave? And I quote, he says, that guy was made his announcement when people were doing a COVID-19 conference. Our politician now.
So do you believe that narrative?
Yeah, I can believe that. I can take that. Look, for example, I'll give you an example. Our politician now, they do their politics in the funerals, in the churches. You see? Whenever they see the public, this is where they say, this is that, as PLM is that, as PLM government is that, because they don't know where the people are. Wherever they see the public, this is where they raise the point of politics about. So I consider the point, the explanation of Kenquat, and let him go. Okay, brother said, SPLM Iowa is the dumping ground. Brother, Sultan Madina Makel left last month, to Iowa. Is his personal decision? Maybe you have seen that whatever government is doing is not right. Let us not see the SPLM of today like the SPLM of yesterday. There's no any country that can be ruled by one party, Ajama. Let us stop this concept of SPLM of today is like the SPLM of yesterday. If you see the SPLM along the way, there is a reshaping. SPLM has been modernized along the way from ideology of the Mundang all the way up to now.
Matwin.
Yeah.
Matwin.
Yeah.
What are the competing ideology between IO and the IG that you know of?
What I know now, the SPLM, the concept for the first place is that Mundang prophesied that one person will be having, like Riek Machar will live. Along the way, now it's changed now. This is what happened to the This is what happened.
I think Mundang into this discussion, we are still halfway to go, my friend.
If you look now what is going on. This is the first concept.
Oh my God.
Way, yeah. Listen.
Mundang prophecy is not ideologies, my friend, or it's not.
let me give you let me explain something.
Okay, I'm gonna take some water. Hold on a second.
All right, we'll have to discuss it next time, this prophecy thing.
Yeah.
Look, it was taken in that way, but along the way, it has been modernized until it becomes as an ideology. It has become as a concept. It becomes as people are joining.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question, Abraham. Do you believe the Mundang prophecy is actually Dr. Riek?
That was most people said long time ago, and people were
No, I'm talking
referring
about you now.
themselves.
I'm talking about you.
No, I'm not believing. I'm not believing that, and that's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
that's good.
People cannot pinpoint React now,
I
and
don't
that's
think
whereby
so. You know, you
and
don't
that's
have to
whereby
react
now React learn. You see,
the language
Okay.
of
React learn now. People are joining React now because the concept have changed, and then people should have to see the SPLM of today, not like the SPLM of yesterday. If anyone change side, you cannot say this side is dumping ground, this side is that. No, you know.
Abraham,
Okay,
there
thank
is,
you.
I don't want this to get carried out. The reason I ask you a simple question is because you are saying the SPLM of today is not the same the SPLM of long time ago. And
SPLM IO.
SPLM IO. And then the
Yeah.
simple question is, in reality, there are people that believe IO was actually formed for people to get a position. And then there are people who believe IO is a viable opposition party in South Sudan. And it's okay, we understand a country that have a multi parties. It's a good country because the different ideology shape the governing system. Okay, so there is no problem with that. That idea shape. Now the question is this is not only the government supporters that are asking that question. Is the IO now become a viable party because the members are living, they are granted due to internal dispute within the governing party, within the party. So this is the simple question Junubin are asking. This is not only a government supporter. Even the IO themselves, they're asking themselves that question. But anyway, thank you for joining the show. I have been here for more than 10 hours. So I'm going to give this chance to Chimkwa to say the last word and respond to all your comments. And then I will end the show. Go ahead, Chimkwa. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. This is a really brutal confinement. So we have been here for more than eight hours.
Another COVID-19.
That's why you're not going to say anything good, Chankwa. Anyway.
First of all, brother Peter and Bull, who hosted this show today, I give my gratitude to you for the fact that you have offered your time and actually your money, because time is money, to host this show. And I believe the reason you hosted this show was not to just come here and, spit anything that we wish to and go home or go back to our beds with nothing. I hope and I believe that after this discussion, there will be someone somewhere that will at least knows that after this conversation, they can make a genuine decision. A decision that can be based on the mutual understanding on which party one can support and trust. Because if we come here and talk and we don't grab anything out of here, then we are just consuming time for no reason. Each and every one of us have got an opinion. Whether your opinion is based on affiliated parties or your opinion is based on a personal term, that is up to you to weigh up. But for me personally, whenever I go on a media platform,
no boys,
I
guys.
go there to make sure.
Talk, brother Chankwa, we are hearing you.
Whenever I come on a platform, whether it is hosted by the Lake Media, the Lake Show Media, or the Lake State Media Show, or any other person, I want to go there to make sure that my voice as a member of IO is heard, and that the position of IO is not misrepresented. And therefore, today being here, it is a significant milestone that I would say on behalf of the movement. Although I was not appointed to represent the movement today, I do that on a voluntary term. For those people that do not know me, I am also the chairperson of the SPLM-IO here in Western Australia. But whenever I debate on the media, I do not represent the office, because if I were to represent the office, there are people whom I cannot debate against or with. Because when you are commissioned to represent the position of the office, you will also want to debate with someone who is representing an office. But the reason I always come here to debate with people intellectually as a member is because I want us to share this platform together. And my main ambition is to actually make sure we feed ourselves with right information. Today, what I will tell you, regardless of everything that we have spoken about or talked on for the last 8 hours, I have to make sure I reinforce the position of the SPLM-IO. That SPLM-IO is the only party, as we speak in the Republic of South Sudan, that can be able to withstand, in case if Juba regime, for example, opted to go back to war, it is the only party that can defend the interests of the majority of the people that we know. We believe and we stand wholeheartedly on principles. Our principle and objective as a movement is to make sure that we build a country that is democratic, a country that is federally managed and run. We believe that our country should be a country where democracy and human rights and the rule of law, is observed. There are a lot of other objectives and principles of this movement that we are advocating for. But for now, I will stop there in regarding to touching few ideas on the objective and aim of the movement. Coming back to our topic today, I have mentioned on several occasions that as SPLM-IO, yes, we have not denied that there are few individuals that have decided to part way with the movement and join the other party, which is the SPLM-IG, which is a party to the peace agreement. The concerns are concerns that should have been raised, discussed, and managed and sorted out within the movement. These were not concerns that should, make you opt for any other alternative. But sometimes, when you have a pressure somewhere, or when you have an interest that you want to fulfill, and you are unable to actually be persistent and be patient enough to wait for the time to come for you to fulfill your ambition, you will always want to look for shortcuts. And therefore, even me today as Simon Chankwath, I would love to be in an office, for example, but the question of when am I going to run an office has to be rested for now. Because if I want to use that ego to drive me, then I will not be able to follow the aims and aspirations of the movement. And it will always give me a way to use a shortcut to fulfill my desires, because I'm unwilling to wait. My fellow comrades that have defected, someone said before that we do not recognize them. In my first speech, I've said this. I say these comrades are comrades that we highly respected in the movement. They are comrades that have served the movement for 7 years. This is what I've said earlier. And these are comrades that a person like me as Simon Chankwath cannot come on this media to insult them or abuse them. That is what I've said earlier. And I have said that this does not prevent me from saying that the logic behind the defection is driven by something, by a desire to fulfill someone's agenda. And these desires can have a lot of reason somewhere. And that is why I was giving you a very vivid example. On Thursday, some of you will do the research after this. On Thursday, when that conference was called, it was not Dagdo Bichuk that called and organized that conference. Let me tell you clearly. You, the host of this show, Brother Peter, one day, one time, you will come and confirm this. That event was organized by people that are already in the SPLM-IG. Individual like Kunpoy, who was a former governor. This guy called Ezekiel Olgar, who is now a member of the SPLM-IG. And the names goes on. For your record again, those whom you have seen at the scene, those whom you are seeing in that room, they were not from SPLM-IO matching to that venue to denounce SPLM-IO. They were members who are already with those people of Kunpoch, and they congregate themselves there, and their main agenda, according to what they have written, they came there as a people of greater Upper Nile state, the state of Upper Nile, to highlight the importance of the COVID-19. That is what they say, not what I'm saying. And you will come and attest to this one day. This is what they say. They called that conference to make sure that they highlight the importance of the members in their state, which is the Upper Nile state, to make sure that they look after themselves in regard to this agenda of COVID-19. And then after the presentation, that is where the announcement came now, that Dagdo Obichuk was there together with the 10 gentlemen. And one of the gentlemen is my cousin. He's a son to Gad Kolgwal. He's a son of Gad Kolgwal. Okay? So when we speak here, we don't just speak just for the sake of it. We talk with these people directly. You see, just because they have left the movement the day before does not mean we don't talk to them. We talk to them. We even question why they're doing that. Okay? So when we come here and we just come to argue because you have heard something somewhere and you want to justify it and you want me to believe, I will not believe.
Jacob, we are not talking about who organized the event, but we are talking about the announcement of the defection. Don't
listen. Don't be so energetic when I'm concluding the presentation. Remember, I'm just concluding as a guest speaker, and I have to actually try to touch base on everything.
Don't be a bad guest speaker. You should conclude with a good word or good.
I am coming to the good word, but if you don't want the good word, I can also end it with the.
No, you conclude, brother.
All right. So, Brother Peter, these people that have defected, we highly appreciate their work that they have done within the movement. But we do not agree with the step that they have taken, that leaving the movement is going to give them a solution. In my view, and in the view that is represented by the many of the SPLM-IO members, the decision that they have taken is not going to solve any problem. It is like, your house is burning.
Chinkwa, but let's be realistic. That decision will actually shape the IO actually administrative on how to govern themselves as a party. It will shape them.
It is good for you to believe. Yeah, it is good for you to believe that is okay, and it is your opinion and your take, which is okay.
No, that's not my opinion, but that's the fact. It will check if there is actually a disgruntled within the party. This faction will actually people will come to Sen as a party and say, "Oh, I think there is something wrong that we need to fix." Won't
exactly,
that make
sense? And that's part of the process in any movement, in any party, even in the SPLM-IG. Don't they have issues? That is why Tellering
What
left.
about the
That's why Malong Alman left.
Absolutely, they do. Yes.
Okay, that's
done
why
that as well.
everybody that you know left the SPLM-IG. So, brother
They're coming
Peter,
back. Mm.
yeah, thank you. The other point that I want to touch. Actually, I was concluding on that issue before you interject. The fact that they have defected, we don't like it. In fact, we the members of the movement cannot encourage this defection. That is why we are saying that people should make sure that their differences are discussed, ironed out, and move on with the ideal of the movement. So I don't support anyone defecting. But if we reach to the climax of someone not understanding the advices that are being given unto them, and they choose to go away, I will not curse them. I will not abuse them. But I will continue to respect while disagreeing with the move that they have done. I hope they will find what they are looking for in the SPLM-IG, but I doubt it.
There's something
In regard to
Chankwat, I
Yeah,
want to read
please
you.
comment
I
about
want
the min-
I want to read you
about the
something
ministers.
interesting you have written in your Facebook. Something best. You have said that the war of 2016 is a war of Doug Bishop because Dr. Riek trust him with the position than Taban.
Yeah.
That's what you have said.
Thank
So
you.
this-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. This just I want to make sure that you understand that there has to be a conflict of interest within the SLM-IO that let people defect in search of maybe a green pasture in other side of the river.
Okay.
And let me add something to that, brother. And Champot, you need to answer this. We are hearing the reason people are defecting. Riek Machar has made the movement his family entity, and including the ministers. Can you please comment on that?
Come on.
Why did Riek Machar not appoint other men, including you, but his family?
Come on. You know, the more you repeat something, it doesn't mean that it will be.
You are not answering.
It will.
Answer
No,
the
no.
reason Riek Machar has made the
Listen.
ministers, all his family.
No, listen.
Okay.
You cannot have this ambition.
Defect to react. Doesn't mean that it's a
You
member of
need to understand everything that I've highlighted here are of importance. Just because I haven't got to the point that is itching your stomach does not mean I'm not going to.
The defection, simple.
Well, don't worry about defection. I'm getting there. Otherwise, lock out and just go listen.
I've been listening.
Simple as that.
Go.
Because if you cannot wait, then that's your problem, not my problem.
No, Champot, whatever you're saying, the history, we all know it. Don't come here and lecture me about the history.
You don't
Lecture me
know.
about the mass defection and
Come
what is going on in the
on.
movement. Why Riek Machar is not appointing other mayor?
You are not a guest invited here. I have been invited here as a guest.
Okay, sorry.
Come on. Anyway, you have said your last word. Let Chenkwa wrap up.
Thank you, Peter.
I don't think you
It's
need
all
to
right.
get
We
a
have
straight
nothing.
answer.
You know, we are brothers, man. Don't worry about that.
I'll
We
be
know each other.
listening. I'm going to log out. I'll be listening. Just continue to talk.
Okay, brother. Brother Cameron. Look, I'm coming to that point, and I know whatever I will say, you will not accept it. The logic sense behind that is because you want to serve something else. You have a desire that want to be served on this platform, and that is something you will not get from me, brother. Okay, let me address, Brother Peter, the accusation of Dr. Riek Machar appointing the relatives. Not to forget the point that has been highlighted by our brother. What's his name? I forgot his name again. I will also answer what you have just said in regard to the point, to the post I put yesterday. Or actually, let me just tackle, and then I will come to the issue of the appointees. what I've written yesterday, for those people that might not be able to understand it politically, it is logical, because sometimes there reach a time when you have to ask questions of why things are happening the way they are. In 2015, the SPLM-IO went to Juba because they have signed a peace agreement. And that peace agreement was supposed to be implemented. Upon the implementation of that peace agreement, there came a contesting point where Doug Dobichuk, the current person that we are talking about, put up his hand and he said, you know, the position of the petroleum ministry will be given to me. Taban also, on the other hand, on the other side, said, I need that position. Okay? And now it has to come to balance. It will depend now on the leadership to make a decision who should have this position. Okay? And because Taban Dengai was sent to Juba at the time as the head of the SPLM-IO implementation committee, the more chances would have rested with Dagdo. And that is why Dagdo was chosen over Taban Dengai. Taban Dengai was told, look, you have other duties to implement. Let Dagdo Bichuk be the person that will be the minister for petroleum. All right? Dagdo Bichuk was chosen because he has been a long servant, you know, or he has rendered his services to Riek Machar for a long, long time. He is a true loyalist.
To the party?
No, hold on. He's a true loyalist. Okay? Because he was a true loyalist, I believe that gave him more weight. Okay? He was given the petroleum ministry. And then in retaliation, Taban said no. And then Taban was told in a meeting that no, look, this decision has been made, and Doug Dobichuk will be the minister for petroleum. That was back in 2016. And that is where Taban started to form and forge allegiance with Salva Kiir, because he was not happy with the fact that he did not, you know, receive the position that he wanted. What happened thereafter? We had a fight, because Taban went to Salva and he lied to Salva that, you know, if you choose me and make me the first vice president, Riek Machar will be gone. No one will follow Riek Machar. That was a misconceived deception. What happened thereafter? Riek Machar was not killed. He went to Juba. He went to Congo. Now, the same scenario is repeating itself. We are in the same position of this petroleum ministry, whereby Doug Dobichuk once again put up his hand. And for you, those who always come to speak in the darkness, that you don't even know what is going on behind the scenes in the focus of the SPLM-IO. This is what we do. When there was a meeting that was chaired by the commander-in-chief, these high profile, including James Kanki, they are part of that decision-making body. The position portfolios were subdivided. First of all, they were divided based on the states, in which, if you look at it around the country, we have 10 states. And then from there, it was furthermore subdivided until when we find that which section of these people in this given state can have this ministry. Because they were not just thrown out for no reason. In the Greater Upper Nile, as a state, there were 11 people that put up their hands. Okay? Most of you don't know, but you come here and you just keep talking without evidence. There were 11 people from Greater Upper Nile as a state who put their hands up for the same position. Let me tell you, in Bentiu or in Unity State.
What does that mean for IO had the party?
Huh?
What does that mean for IO had the party?
No, it means that individual wanted to show the skills in serving, but they forgot to understand that, yes, I can have the ambition, but one seat cannot seat all the 10 or all the 11 of us. There has to be one person that will be lucky out of the 11 people. Okay? It reached to a time where the decision was made, not by Riek Machar, but by the high-ranking official in the military. Okay? That the person that they have to put in that position was Port Kangchol, based on the fact, one, he has been part of the peace agreement from day one up to now. That qualifies him. For those people that always come here and say Port Kang is a son-in-law to Riek Machar, you are lying. Go find out who's the wife. You know the lady he got engaged to? Go find out the real father to that lady and come back to me, tell me if that is the daughter of Riek Machar. Sometime when we come here and just back, the lady that is engaged to that to Port Kang, she's not even from Unity State. And here we are talking rubbish, saying that Riek Machar appointed this guy because he's a son-in-law. These are wrong. These are wrong.
It is true. It is true.
No, it is not true. It is not true.
It is true. No matter how you deny it, we know that.
Tell me, okay, tell me who the father of the girl.
About it, no, and
look.
We are correctly informed about it. There's no doubt.
By who? By who? By your most deep information.
Look, hold on.
Billy, look. No, Billy, look. Tell me who's the father of the girl.
I think Chuck was making sense now. It's digging out.
That is Dr. Riek Machar. Why are you asking the same question? I don't want to talk about.
Tell me who's the daughter of
Dr. Riek Machar. He is a stepfather.
You are just insane.
No, that's true. He's a stepfather. But we don't want to talk. That's not what we want to talk about. They are related one way or the other.
Anyway, let me go on. So anybody that comes here to tell us that the position were divided by Riek Machar unanimously, these people are insane. They are people that just want to hear what they want. They want people to hear what they want to say.
Peter Ken, can I respond now? Because I have been very patient. And
you cannot respond because I'm
going on lecturing us on and on, non-stop. Let me intervene a little bit.
Look,
it's concluding. Go ahead, Chinko.
I'm concluding. You have already spoken earlier. In regard to Angelina Teng, there were portfolios that were followed before she was appointed. Okay? Anybody out there that want to dispute this, it is up to you to continue to argue. But it will not change the fact that the decision was made by the mechanism that we know in the IO. Continue to argue, but it will not change anything in the SPLM-IO. In regard to the rest of the other appointees, if you look at Manao Peter Garkot, he's not even anywhere related to Riek Machar. Look at Comrade Parkul, he's not related to Riek Machar. You know, go to who? The other lady, she's from Equatoria. Okay, she's not related with Riek Machar. This lady, the health minister, she's actually from your state, and I can't believe that you guys are disowning her. This is irresponsible manner from you guys. You know,
which state?
She's. What do you mean, which state? You don't know where Achoi come from?
No one from what is state rap on this panel. All these panels, there is no one from what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Keep going.
All right, thank you, Peter. So, my dear brother, in regard to the appointments, anybody can go and you know concoct their own agenda and finger point at Dr. Riek Machar and claim that Riek Machar have done this and this and this is the reason I'm leaving. That is okay. It is fine by me. But what I will not take, what I cannot take, is to come here and tell us that the decisions that are being made in the SPLM-IO are made by Riek Machar. I will tell you, you are insane. Narrowing down, Brother Peter, in regard to because there were people that say SPLM-IO is dead. Brother Nuri has elaborated immensely on the reason as to why I'm sitting here claiming that SPLM-IO is the only party in South Sudan that can be able to compete against SPLM-IG militarily or politically. Those people of the Soma, I could see earlier there were some people clapping because of Emmanuel Ajawin. You know, we can all come here and back and back and back, but if you back outside of the house, that is okay, you know, because I know you are not going to enter. If I will not open the door for you to come in, you are not going to enter. So those people of the Soma that continue to back while in Rome, I always say, I call them the manna group. You know, those who are waiting for manna to fall from heaven through the Pope. Let them continue to wait for their manna to fall. And then once they receive the manna, then they will come and join the hardworking people of South Sudan in their quest for peace. That is why I cannot continually, discuss any issue with Emmanuel Ajawin, because there is nothing substantial I will find from him. I questioned him earlier that who is his deputy in his so-called NDM-PF. He was denying that we should not say he defected from the NDM. Of course, what are you going to say? Either you say they divorced or he defected. And the official language would be he defected from the former NDM and then went and formed NDM at PF. This makes sense, right? So for him to come and tell me that he hasn't defected, he has defected. These people, brothers, my dear fellow countrymen, we are never going to get anything out of them. What we will get out of them is that their true colors are going to be seen. You know how their true colors are now, first came to be seen? It was a show that I hosted on the 1st of April. Maybe some of you might have seen that show. That show where I watched, I questioned who are these people or these parties under the Soma? Are they the wolves wearing the sheep skins? And I went on and I went on and I elaborated on the issues that I know. Now, after they realized that I finger point at them, that is where all these things came about. And now it is good that we know their true colors. I came to know Brother Edward, who normally hosts one of the shows. He's a member of the real SPLM. That is a good thing because I have now known him and I can be able to handle him as a real SPLM. But before that, brothers, I never knew which side he belonged. I only thought, sorry, someone called me.
No problem.
Sorry, someone called me, but yeah.
Okay.
I used to think that he was just, yes, I thought he was just a normal concerned citizen. But after all, after my show, I realized he's a member of the real SPLM. So, brothers, let us not fool ourselves here. The only two parties that can bring about peace in South Sudan is SPLM-IG and the SPLM-IO.
It's not SPLM-IG anymore, Chankot. It's SPLM. That's it.
No. Brother Cameron, I'm just concluding. So these two parties, they are the main signatory.
You are concluding when I'm about to eat you once again before. So you should have been the last person.
No, we already finished. Oh. You are just bubbling out of nowhere. So we are concluding. After I finish here, I'm not coming back. So
okay, no problem.
I believe you came late, brother Billy. Look, brother Peter, what I was going to say is that our country needs peace. Okay? If I come today to mislead the people of South Sudan that SPLM-IO gave up, SPLM-IO have handed themselves in, this cannot be right. These are wrong misleading statement that can actually jeopardize the peace that we are talking about today. Unless someone, especially the supporters of the SPLM-IG,
you have no more military, no more politician in your party. Everybody has defected to the government side. A strong military officer like James Kong,
where you confuse people.
That's the end of SPLM-IO.
Continue.
I think brother Kamal have already said it.
Billy, look.
Come on.
Continue.
That's an empty defense.
Gentlemen.
Okay, it's all right. We'll see. Time will tell, brother.
Gentlemen.
So, Brother Peter.
Yes.
Brother Peter, look, we have been here for more than 8 hours.
Absolutely.
Actually, 10 hours. It is not for granted. I truly honor your show today, and I appreciate the fact that you have invited me to come and share this podium with you. My being here is because we are South Sudanese people. And because we are South Sudanese people, we must tell ourselves facts the way they are. How I am going to end this show, this presentation, I will say this. As SPLM-IO went to Juba because of this peace agreement. This peace agreement, the official name is the Artigonu for this one. This is what took the SPLM-IO to Juba. When you want to refer to the faction led by Salva Kiir in this peace agreement, it is initial SPLM-IG. The IO here are initial SPLM-IO, and the rest of the other parties have been initial here. So when I speak and I say SPLM-IG, I'm talking officially based on the document. Someone who wants to say, oh, we are SPLM, I don't know where they come from, and I don't know which document they base the agreement on. Brother Peter, we went to Juba to implement peace agreement, and that is what we are there to protect. If it fails, the SPLM-IO will have their way in how they are going to handle it. If it fails. But if it is successful, that is what we wanted. And that is what we continue to, to pressure our partners in peace to implement the document. Because once it is implemented, remember SPLM-IO have lost some of their demands. SPLM-IG have given up some of their demands. Why did they do that? Because they want to bring the people of South Sudan to the peace. But today, if someone do not want to implement this document, what can you say about that person? If it is Dr. Riek Machar, I will tell Dr. Riek Machar that you cannot be right because you signed this document, and now if you are running away from this document, I will hold you accountable. And that is the same thing I expect from the SPLM-IG supporters and the rest of the peace-conscious citizens of South Sudan, that we should pressure our leaders to make sure they continue to work and iron their differences out so that the peace can be realized in South Sudan. But if we continue with this mentality of Billy Luke, mentality of Kaman, and mentality of Emmanuel Ajawin, I believe, brothers, history will be rewritten again in South Sudan, and we are going to get back to war. That is what I can tell us, Brother Peter. And this is something that can be very terrible.
War which you don't have no more manpower anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So Brother Peter, with my respect to you, I will only, plead my case to our leaders that the people of South Sudan have suffered for far too long. And if this window of opportunity has presented itself, our leaders should use it to the maximum to make sure peace is realized in the country. Riek Machar and Salva Kiir must use this opportunity to make sure that they bring about peace in the country. Because if they fail, the failure of this peace agreement will mean suffering for people. And I don't want that. But if there are people that are happy to prolong the war, then I will be also happy to continue with the war. But I believe we are sick and tired of killings and instability in the country. We want to be a peaceful country. My appreciation once again to you as I conclude. My brothers, especially Kaman, you know, we know each other. I don't even need to stress that. And Billy Luke, we came to know each other through the media, but Kaman, we know each other personally. What I can say here is that as I conclude my presentation, I believe that SPLM-IO went to Juba to implement the agreement. If there are any, angels of anti-peace that want to move under the ground to destabilize the peace agreement, then it is okay. History will tell us, and time will tell us after everything is concluded. We will know exactly what does this defection means and who orchestrated this defection. Did they only come from this individual or from the outside? We will find out. Time will tell. Lastly, to our viewers that has been here for more than 8 hours, it is not for granted. We don't take you for granted. We value your availability because without you, we will not be backing on this social media. We are here backing on daily basis because we know someone somewhere will at least take a point from one person. And to all of you, I respect you, although we are different. We have a lot of different in terms of political ideology and the way in which our country can be managed and run. The Republic of South Sudan and its citizens will one day prove who is right and who is wrong. But let us not encourage the spirit of war as of this stage, because the spirit of war will destabilize you, it will destabilize me, and our people will be refugees in foreign countries. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Brother Chenkwet. Thank you all to all the panel. I think that will be the last word for the night. If I did not give you a chance to say a word.
I didn't have a chance, Peter, please. Let me conclude as well.
Oh, look, you already had.
Look, you already
had. No, I didn't. I just tuned in.
If we will talk again, then I will come back.
That's what I just told you. You weren't supposed to conclude it before I even speak.
Because you weren't supposed to talk twice and then leave the show.
I called him to conclude and he left. We'll come back to later today, whether Madid or Bull. I don't know about me.
Let me conclude it for 2 minutes. My 2-minute remarks, and Kaman will have a comment.
Next time, brother.
Next time.
Peter, it's not fair. It's not fair because I didn't say anything. What was the point of being here anyway?
No, Billy. Look, I call for the last word. It will be
let's finish, man. Just continue to go and cry on the social media to have your stage.
Here is my last word.
Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. I am really grateful to all the panels and the viewers. As a Lagos State Media, our point has always been, if there is anything that will silence a gun in South Sudan, that's a first priority. If you want reform, if you want whatever, those are the second agenda. And right now, let's take this opportunity that the gun is silent, and that's truth. And we hope to stay for the next couple of years until we go to the election. We always said, I always said to all my my opposition brothers from IO, I can't deny that I'm a government supporter, regardless whether I hold this show or not. But I will never silence you because you come from different side of the aisle. All we want is a conversation as a nation, and also as the people that are actually trying to find a common ground where the peace is. So with that being said, I want to say thank you to all the panel. If I have not allowed you to speak tonight, please know that we have all the show almost every single day. You will have, even if this is if the next topic is not this topic, it's okay to come back and say, you know, I missed this last time. I would have let me actually add it. So thank you guys. I really want to sleep. I want to go to bed. Look,
thank you very much.
I was already
done a
sleeping
good job,
too.
and God bless you and your family.
Peter,
Thank you. Thank you.
we have to propose the topic for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
If you mind.
Luke just wake up. Luke has been sleeping.
And we'll get it. Thank you.
You wanna host? You wanna host the show, Luke?
No, I'm just saying, in case they come back to...
He knows,
in case they come...
if he hosts the show...
Come on, why you keep interrupting me, bro? You interrupting me. What? I didn't say anything. I thought I should be having something to say. But anyway, that's the interest of Chengkwat, because Chengkwat, you don't want me to eat you back.
No,
but that's okay. You can go and sleep. We are tired.
Brother Luke, brother Luke, you spoke twice already.
Conversation, but I want to say thank you.
By the way, you have done a wonderful job, Chengkwat. I just want to acknowledge you for doing that. You have done a wonderful job on behalf of all the IO supporters and the IO as a party. But in reality, that's okay. You should be exhausted by now. You have been here for 9 hours and something like that.
Oh, 10 hours.
But I was trying to suggest to you, Peter Ken, that tomorrow, any one of you that is coming live should come up with a topic with our BA and a topic with our Edward Lino. We have to come and honor and pay a tribute to Comrade Edward Lino, as well as the massacre that has also taken place again in the BA. That is the topic that I just want to suggest to you, and we have more detail to talk about that. It's all about paying tribute to Edward Lino, and also talk about the mascot, the second mascot in the BA. So these have to be brought to public attention.
Thank you, Brother Luke, and thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. Take care, brother. But make sure you need to understand Lake State is under IO. So you need to convert yourself.
We don't have a problem. We don't have a problem.
That's why Peter the fact already with the Talar ring. So
thank you.
Talar ring got him in the pocket.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Changpon. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. That's why he did you a favor anyway. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Come on. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone, and I will see you guys later today or tomorrow. Night, night, everyone. I'm out.